been paid for by
the ENN podcast.
He has a good energy, you guys.
Can you believe it? Can
Sports.
you feel it? Can you feel that excitement?
The merchandise, wearing the hats.
Chris Wild here live from Lincoln Finance.
And I'm telling you, if you let Eli Manning walk into that stadium and make you look stupid and get a Giants W.
Music.
Wow. Whoa. Shit.
And more.
What's his next book going to be called? Spineless?
Mike.
What is up, everybody? Let's try this third time's a charm. As we're looking at right now, Zach Ertz leaving the field, going to the locker room yesterday after his last game in green with the Philadelphia Eagles. That is what Eagle fans, that's what we got this morning. And how are you guys doing? Because I tell you what, it has been a bad couple days for Eagle fans. It's been a bad couple seasons for Eagle fans. But look, I'm going to talk about the game here in a little bit. I'll be honest with you guys. I had such a busy morning / early afternoon that I didn't look at much social media at all, actually. So I turned on the radio. Before even looking at my phone, I turned the radio on in the car. It's 94.1. I wasn't going to listen because, let's be honest, a lot of negativity. That's all that channel is negativity anyway, even when they win. So I knew it was going to be ridiculously horrible today. Actually, it wasn't that bad, but the first thing I heard was Howie Roseman talking, Howie Roseman press conference. And I'm like, are they playing a clip from something from the off season? Like, what is Howie Roseman on the radio for? And my first thought was Jalen Hurts got traded, or they signed Deshaun Watson. That's what I thought. I thought it was a Deshaun Watson thing, or maybe Nick Sirianni was fired. That was my first thought, hearing Howie Roseman on the radio. And then obviously, as you just saw, it was about Zach Ertz being traded to the Arizona Cardinals for a 5th round pick and basically like a 6-pack. I mean, no, it's Tay Gowan, a cornerback. I couldn't tell you if he walked in front of me right now, I wouldn't know who he is. Like, no disrespect to the guy, but let's be honest. I mean, come on. This is Zach Ertz we're talking about, Pro Bowler for the Philadelphia Eagles, one of my favorite players. Super Bowl hero, leading receptions leader in the league, past Jason Witten back in 2008, was 2019, 2018. Just one of the best. He did a press conference today, which most players don't do when they're traded. There's a lot of bitter feelings, but he expressed his love for the city, his thoughts on the trade, and you could tell he was happy. He was happy. You go from a 2-4 team now to a Super Bowl contender in the Arizona Cardinals. You're going to be pretty happy, and Zach Ertz absolutely was. So there's a lot of questions that I have about that, and I don't want to go I got a lot to say about yesterday's game, so I don't want to go too far into the Zach Ertz rabbit hole. If you have been paying attention to my channel at all, you know how I feel about Zach Ertz. Again, he's everything you look for in a football player, man. The guy plays hard. He's a warrior. In 2018, I'll never forget, during that run where the Eagles only had practice squad receivers, Carson Wentz threw a bad ball that he caught and broke his ribs, and he continued to play through that game. They needed that game against the Cowboys, which they did win. I mean, the guy is just they don't make him like him. They just don't. The Arizona Cardinals have an absolute loaded offense now with, again, one of the best football players. Is he one of the best tight ends of the league? Probably not anymore when you see freaks like Travis Kelce, running around the field. But he's definitely going to be missed here. And I feel like this was all concocted by Howie Roseman. I think himself, and I believe Zach Ertz too, knew that this was going to go down at some point this year. You look how the offseason went. I think it was, I talked in a failed stream earlier about how the Carson Wentz saga was an organizational failure for the Eagles. I thought it really was, but paying this guy all this money, and then basically letting him say he doesn't want to play here anymore. You got to trade him. It's a one second round pick and a conditional. it's just organizational failure for the Eagles. And I feel like this is too. I feel like this is an organizational failure too, because Brian, what's going on? Can we trade for OBJ, please? I'll get to that in a minute too. I don't even think that would matter right now. But you get a 5th round pick, and again, a player that really, let's be honest. I mean, this guy, who knows if he even makes the team. You get that for Zach Ertz, which is what you probably could have gotten in the beginning of the season for the guy. And I think during the press conference, one of the reporters said that. But man, it feels to me like Howie Roseman overplayed his hand, and I think maybe Zach Ertz kind of had something to do with that. I mean, and look, I'm a huge Zach Ertz fan, but after the 2020 season, he has that press conference where he's crying, and he's basically saying goodbye to the city. All throughout the year, you heard he didn't want to be here. Him and Roseman were getting into it nonstop. Brian, we do have a little bit of cap space. We just, the Zach Ertz trade frees up, I think, almost $6 million. But OBJ is a whole. Like I said, I'll get to that in a second. But and I lost my train of thought now. But yeah, you could have. He wanted a 2nd round pick for the guy. But teams knew Zach Ertz was not going to, was not going to want to stay for the Eagles. You see what I mean? They knew the Eagles got to get rid of this guy. So why am I going to give it a 2nd when I could probably wait around? He might even get released. Nobody expected him to be here during the beginning of the season. He stays through the season. I think Howie Roseman said, "Look, put on a good face, say some good things about our coach in a press conference," which Zach did. I'm going to give you 80% of the tight end snaps to play around with. Make yourself more viable for trade, and then I'll trade you. And that's exactly what happened. We kept wondering for weeks, like Dallas Goedert, every time he touches the ball, it looks like he's doing something great with it. Why is he not more involved in this offense? Why is everything Ertz? And nothing against Ertz, again, still a hell of a player, but Dallas Goedert, I mean, we need to see what we have in him. He's a free agent next year. Why is he not involved in this? Now, he was put on the COVID-19 protocol list, did not play last night. And that's really peculiar too. Zach, just hours before getting traded, like he knew he was going to be traded when he played last night, when he caught that last touchdown. He knew. He said he cried in his locker room for a half hour afterwards. Very peculiar situation, but again, it's all how he knew this was going to happen. But at the end of the day, you still only get a 5th round pick for a Pro Bowl player. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. And again, no disrespect to the corner. I hope he has great success here. Gowan, again, I don't know who he is. I've never heard of the guy, and that doesn't mean he's not good because I haven't heard of him. But I mean, you would think maybe you could get a little bit more for Zach Ertz. No, you can't. So what does this do for the Philadelphia Eagles? Well, it gives, Zach Ertz traded to the Arizona Cardinals today for a 5th round pick and cornerback Trey Gowan. This gives Dallas Goedert finally gives him the opportunity to be the number 1 tight end. We finally get to see what he's going to do as long as he stays healthy. This also, we got Tyree Jackson, former quarterback turned tight end that wowed guys during the offseason and the preseason. He should be coming off IR soon. Get to see what he's made out of. Jack Stroll should get a little bit more playing time. So there is a little bit of positive here for a guy that wasn't. Look, they weren't going to re-sign Zach Ertz. They just were not going to re-sign him at the end of the year. So we get to see what Goddard's all about. But this brings me into last night. This brings me into last night's 28-22 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was not that close. That is such a nice score, right? When you look at it, you go, man, they were 6 points. I think they might have covered the spread, right? It was not that close, guys. It was this team, and I've stuck up for Nick Sirianni. I have, even going back to earlier this week, I did a video saying, hey, remember how we treated Gabe Kapler? We didn't like his press conferences. We didn't like his ways. Maybe, and now the guy is, he took a team of not all superstars in the San Francisco Giants, and he got them into the playoffs. I mean, this guy, we would love to have that here because the Phillies are sitting home for the 11th straight season. So maybe we need to pump the brakes on all the Sirianni hate. And then I watched last night, and I've got, first off, the defense, I am convinced this defense, Jonathan Gannon, when they're playing good offenses, they suck. They absolutely suck. I mean, it's like these good quarterbacks, They just do whatever they want against the Eagles defense. They do whatever they want. Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, they do whatever the hell they want against his defense. But when the Eagles play guys like Jimmy Garoppolo or Sam Darnold or Matt Ryan, that's when they're good. But when they play these good teams, you don't want a defense that can't play good against good offenses. It's stupid. I'm sure they'll have some great games against the Giants. I'm sure they'll have a great game against the Lions, maybe even the Raiders. But when they're playing the good teams, they just absolutely suck. These linebackers get thrown around, and my camera's probably wondering, trying to adjust to my movements. But the linebackers, I'm watching Leonard Fournette, who looks silly in number 7, by the way. He's just pushing these guys backward. They have no momentum. The corners, Slay and Nelson, are fine, but there's got to be the defense is so vanilla. Tom Brady was even barely touched me, threw a pick, but he did whatever he wanted most of the day against the Philadelphia Eagles. And then you go, and it's kind of like the Carolina game, right? You go into the end of the game, the Eagles got a shot, stupid penalty kind of takes all their chance away of tying the game or winning the game. But that brings me to Sirianni's offense. It is not even, I said it was a college offense last week. It looks like a high school offense. It does not even look like a college offense. This all the screen passes, sideline passes. They won't go over the middle. They won't run the football. Now, I know we talked about the Atlanta defense, the Tampa Bay defense. Nobody runs on Tampa Bay. I get it. But you got to run the ball. You got to do it. And I think Brandon Staley, who the Philadelphia Eagles actually wanted to be coach, he's coach of the Chargers, actually said you need the run game to kind of wear out the defense and help your offensive line, because it's a lot easier to push, which is run block, than pull back, which is pass protection. It's so much easier. You need it. And it's insane to me that Sirianni won't help his quarterback out. You have Miles Sanders. Why won't you use Miles Sanders? What? Kenny Gainwell didn't even have a rush yesterday. What? You got Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott. I don't know where the hell Jordan Howard is. Is he still even playing football? Or is he still in the practice squad? And I'm bringing up these stats right now for the Eagles. It's abysmal, man. Give me a second here. Miles Sanders, 9 carries, 56 yards, and he had those 2 big runs at the end of the game, which is pretty much what it was. Other than that, come on. Hurts is the next best. He got 10. Hurts actually carried the ball 10 times for 44 yards. I understand that's what this guy does. He runs, but give me a break, man. And Sirianni goes on TV and says during his press conference, well, the RPOs and the screen passes, they could be runs. This RPO shit is stupid. It's dumb. Look, when Nick Foles did it back in 2017, almost 5 years ago, yeah, it worked like a charm. Teams kind of got the gist of what you're going to do there. There's a clip I'm about to show you. Brian Baldinger goes absolutely insane because Jalen Hurts, he constantly chose the wrong RPO. And while I'm talking about it now, let me just show you guys this right now.
Block play. There's 4 yards here. Excellent double right here at the point by Kelsey and Driscoll. Malata's just doing what Malata does. He's just throwing JPP all over the place. He's got him backpedaling right there like he's a defensive back. There's a hole here if you want to give it to him. There's a nice space for Miles Sanders to go get you 4 yards. Probably going to get hit by Minner. Probably going to push him 2 yards when he hits him. You're going to have a 4-yard play. But if you want to throw it, okay. Now, why doesn't he throw it? So this is the maddening part. This is the first down play. You've taken the field. You got first down at the 11-yard line. It's an RPO, and you got your 3 receivers. You got your Devontae and Rager and Quez all out there, right? Nobody is running a route. Nobody got the call. Hurts is ready to throw it. Receivers don't think it's coming. So it's week 6. You can't have broken plays. They're all going to block. Nobody's looking for a ball. There's no tag. You can't do this in week 6. You just can't do it. You can't have broken plays like that. It's a huddle call. Either you get the call or you don't get the call.
Again, and I agree with him. It's absolutely maddening, man. You see that play. First off, Jordan Mailata, man. if he can stay healthy, this guy, look, he's throwing JPP around like he's a little kid. Like Mailata is an absolute beast. You see the hole there. You give that to Sanders, you're at least getting 4 yards, maybe more. But Hurts keeps because I guess he wanted to throw. The receivers had no idea that he wanted to throw. And then it turns into that. And that was a lot of what yesterday was. And so, again, a lot of it. And my question to you guys out there that are watching now or they're going to watch later is it Sirianni or is it Hurts? And I couldn't decide because, again, being at the game and being able to see the entire field from where I was sitting, there were times where Hurts had Quez Watkins wide open, running past guys. Had Devontae Smith like having guys breaking their ankles, and he's not throwing the ball. He's not. I don't understand. It's like he looks at his first read, and after that, it's over for the guy. These wide receivers are getting open. It's not like last year where you had guys that weren't getting open, and Wentz is like, "What the hell?" and then he's getting hit, or Hurts is getting hit as thrown out of bounds. Their guys are getting open. So my thing is, look, first off, is Sirianni just making this offense because this is all Jalen Hurts can handle? I like Jalen Hurts. I'm rooting for the guy. Again, you can go back in videos and see. I think the kid's got a great mind. I think he's strong as hell. He's athletic. He looks the part. He passes the eye test. But when you see stuff like this, when you see wide open wide receivers that he's not hitting or he's making the wrong decisions, you saw one last week where I think he had Reagor wide open and he just doesn't go there. Jalen Reagor's another thing. This guy, to me, man, if I don't understand, first round pick, he just can't do anything. He just can't do anything. But is it Hurts or is it Sirianni? I have a hard time. Now, here's my thing. If Hurts, knock on wood, God forbid, I don't wish this on anybody, but if he was to get injured, if he was to get hurt and have to miss time, you're not running this same offense with Joe Flacco. You're not. You're not running the same offense with Gardner Minshew. It's not going to happen. They're not going to be doing the RPOs. They're not going to be doing. It's going to be an NFL style offense. So is this Sirianni just putting this is the offense that Hurts can handle, or is it Hurts being able to handle more? But this is what they give him because this is what they think he can handle. I don't know. Again, I saw a lot of why people don't like Hurts. And I always said, and I've stuck up for the kid, man. Like, you look at his stats, you look at the yards, you look at what he's done in the games that he's played, and that's great. But then you're actually there, and you see these guys running open, and you see better decisions that could be made. It's just, oh man, it sucks. It sucks as a fan. It really does, man. It really does, because the opportunities are there. And it's how I felt against San Francisco. I'm like, the Eagles should have won that game. It's the same way with yesterday. If the Eagles had, and again, I don't know how. I don't want to say this about Hurts. I'm just saying if the Eagles had a better quarterback. Let's just say, I don't know, man. I'm going to throw his name out there. It's just a name. All right, guys. If it was a Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, they're going to make some of those plays that Hurts didn't make yesterday, and the Eagles are going to win, even despite their defense. Same with Kansas City, even maybe. Same with San Francisco. I'm just watching a lot of these plays that are there to be had, and it's just they're not there. But at the same time, is it the coach? I mean, you're not helping Hurts out at all because you're not running the football. So you're not giving this guy, look, do not put in just. Here's what I want. Here's what I want to see. Old school, you line up, you hand the ball off, the offensive line takes care of business, and your running back runs the ball. I don't want Jalen Hurts to decide if it's going to be a run play or not. I don't want that. Because you just saw in that clip, it's not working. It's not working. Let's just do some old school running and see what that does. Help your O-line out, who, again, you got young guys on the offensive line. Lane Johnson still hasn't come back to the team. Help your offensive line out. Help your quarterback out, man. Like, why is it so hard? Like, these guys that know football, like Sirianni, watched football his whole life. I believe that he really loves this game. I believe that he knows offense. He sat under Frank Reich for 2 years. That's why I thought I drafted Miles Sanders to my fantasy team because I said, this is going to be the Indianapolis offense. This team, they're going to give the ball to Sanders. Gainwell's going to get it a lot. What happened to Gainwell yesterday? It's just crazy to me. It's just nuts. These defenses know what you're going to do every single time. Jordan Mailata said the defense knew what we were going to do before we did it, and we did not adapt soon enough. Coming from Jordan Mailata, that's what he said, and that was brought to Sirianni's attention, and he gave some half-assed answer to that. It's just, man, it's mind-blowing to me. Just how bad it looks. And to me, it's like, I look at this and I go, so like last year, maybe the year before, you got practice squad guys on the field, right? And you're going, okay, I get it. These guys don't have much skill. They're just not good. You know, you could have Vince Lombardi coaching the 2019 Philadelphia Eagles, and they're still going to suck. But when you have guys that have skill, Miles Sanders, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, every time this guy gets the ball, he does something good with it. You got Zach Ertz out there, Kenny Gainwell. I mean, these are guys that have some kind of skill to them. This is not like, this should not be this hard. It should not be this hard. I don't understand it. If I see one more screen pass, and guess what? It worked in a preseason game. It worked with Quez Watkins in a preseason game, and he took it to the house. And ever since then, Nick Sirianni won't stop. He won't stop. It's just, I don't want to see it anymore. Take it out. Take it out. Because I know it's going to happen. The other team knows it's going to happen. Man, these defensive coordinators, a lot of them that can be head coaches, must love playing the Eagles right now. Must circle that shit on the calendar. Because this is the most basic college/high school style offense. I just don't understand. Hurts needs to be more accurate. He overthrows guys. He underthrows guys. Guys have to come back to the ball. He's thrown some really shitty interceptions. I'm going to stick up for this dude because he wears green. I like him. I see the potential in him. Nick Sirianni, horrible horse player style offense. I don't know, just bad. We're up there in the stands and we're calling his plays. I mean, it's bad. But look, the guy's the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. I think there's got to be something there. You know, how does this guy go into the interview with, and let's just be clear right now, Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman did not think that Doug Peterson was not going to be the coach of the Eagles. They thought Doug Peterson was going to be the coach this year. Doug goes into that meeting with Jeffrey Lurie. He's tired of the shit. He says, this is who I want as my staff, knowing Jeff's going to go, and he's fired. So now they're unprepared for this coaching hire. They wanted Robert Salah. He decided to go with the Jets. Again, I have no idea why you do go for the Jets over the Eagles. I mean, look at the Jets right now. And you got Brandon Staley, who goes to the Chargers. I can get that. Justin Herbert's a stud. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to go there? You already got your franchise quarterback. They struck out on those two. A lot of people talk about Bieniemy. Bieniemy refused a meeting with the Eagles. Bieniemy didn't want to be here. So they're left with Josh McDaniels, who, again, and you can look at that video. I thought I was kind of for bringing here. At least he's played, he's called plays before, or Nick Sirianni. And again, I'm still not shutting the door on this dude. I'm still going to give him the time that he wants. Look, if they're playing like this 5 weeks from now, you're going to see a completely different Chris Wilde, and I'm going to be wanting to drive Sirianni to the airport. It's just what it is. All right, something's got to change. Something's absolutely got to change. But look, I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna give it to him, and see what happens. If Hurts can and it's kind of tough because Hurts on paper, his stats on paper, his numbers are good. So you'd be like, if you look at his numbers, you go, man, this is a winning team. This team must be winning, but they're not. At some point, you got to see what's going to happen. Here's what I think is going to happen. I've thought this since the beginning, guys. I'm going to say this now. I don't think the Eagles are looking at Jalen Hurts as being their quarterback of the future. I don't think it. I don't think they've ever wanted it, which is why it took them so long to name him as a starter, which is why they let the Deshaun Watson rumors go crazy, which is why they got these first-round picks for next year. I think they're rather going to get somebody out of college, or the Deshaun Watson thing still happens, but he gets suspended, and then you see this piece that they got late in the year called Gardner Minshew, and I think Minshew is going to be the starting quarterback, and the other guys are going to be sitting behind him. Rather Watson until he's able to play, or the young college quarterback who's going to have to learn. That's what I think is going to happen. But because unless there's a miraculous turnaround, and look, not for nothing, this stretch of the schedule has been brutal. your 3 home games: San Francisco, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. Come on, man. You got to be kidding me. Can we get the Giants? Can we get the Lions? But the good thing is the later part of the schedule is a little bit more giving. It's a little bit more giving. You got the Raiders after the John Gruden stuff. You got the Giants. You've got the Washington team. They suck. You got the Lions. They suck. You got the Cowboys again. They might have the shit wrapped up by 18 by the last game and have their secondary guys in there. It's going to get a little bit easier for the Eagles, but something has to change. It's got to change now. And Jeffrey Lurie, again, I think you have some control in this. I think you might be the reason why they're not running the ball as much, because you think in today's NFL, the game is everything. And there was those rumors about you doing it to Doug last year or the year before with the wins over the Packers and the wins over the Bears. And you said, hey, you won, but you ran the ball too much. I think that's still going on right now. But at some point, you got to look at your team and start seeing people not coming to football games and sit there and be disgusted at practice at what you're seeing, and that your general manager is still here. And you got to figure something out, because this is crazy. You were a Super Bowl team in 2017, done nothing but get worse every single year. Your franchise quarterback isn't here anymore because you overrated him. Your Super Bowl winning coach quits / gets fired. And now here we are. And Kate McDonald, Dallas runs the East this year. I don't know. They look pretty damn good right now, but that Dallas always looks good. And the end of the year, they disappear. And it's easy to look good against this Eagles team, as you've seen, and it's easy to look good against a Giants team that who was their quarterback last week? Mike Glennon. I mean, all right, it is what it is. All right, so with that being said, guys, I'm absolutely. I see Brian says here, hydrate. I need to hydrate. I absolutely need to hydrate. These guys have me absolutely upset. It's just mind numbing watching this football team. So I look, hopefully next week, something changes and with this long week and they look decent against the Raiders in Vegas. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, this is what it is. I'm going to be here no matter what. This is, I've put up with some bad shit as an Eagles fan, and we're still here, and we're always here. And that's what separates us from everybody else's fan base. We're here through the bad and the good. We don't just come out when they're good. We're here for it all. So that being said, guys, everybody stay safe out there. Stay healthy. Go Birds. Thank you, number 86, Zach Ertz. We'll definitely see you later, brother.